I wonder if you remember Beria, who stood on the steps of Lenin's mausoleum on the 6th of March in 1953 and talked about Stalin and talked about him in the past tense. And at that point, nobody knew that Stalin had died. Nobody was sure that Stalin had died. But he had. Stalin died on his own because people were terrified of going into his room. And I think it was 2 or 3 days before they realized he was actually dead. And yesterday, a man called Nikolai Patrushev made a speech, and it's a very interesting speech. He's talking about the wonder that is Mr. Putin. Listen to this. He said, it required a leader who could put the welfare of the population at the top of the agenda, display the highest human and organizational qualities, will and dedication. Such a leader was Putin, who first served as prime minister, then was elected president, and then, in accordance with the constitution, became chairman of the Russian Security Council. He knew in detail the state of affairs in the country, had a clear program of action, saw the goal, imagined the tasks that should be solved to achieve it, the sequence of steps as well as the necessary forces, means, and resources. At the same time, he realized the critical importance of an evolutionary approach as opposed to the revolutionary leaps, always weakening the Russian state. He believed in people and the reliability of their support and backing, realized and consciously assumed all responsibility for the salvation of the fatherland. Well, the point about that is the past tense. It may have been accidental, but it's definitely there. Such a leader was Putin. And this suggests strongly that the administration in the Kremlin is coming to grips with the reality that Putin actually died on the 26th of October, and that his corpse is in a freezer in the forest palace of Valdai, just north of Moscow. Of course, there are plenty of people who think this is absurd. There are plenty of people who think that it isn't true. But there are 2 points from this. Point number 1, is it possible that Patrushev is simply recognizing that he is recognizing A, that Putin is dead, and B, that he is in the running to replace him and getting in there first? I mean, it isn't a positive option. But you know, the rumors are clear. 8:40 Thursday, the 26th of October. That's when Putin is suspected of dying, and now he's in a refrigerator. It may be true, it may not be true. Would Russia want this news out there? Well, actually, the death of Putin would be a wonderful excuse to stop this ridiculous war, because history is going to record the war against Ukraine as one of the great disasters, as one of the great missteps in history. And too many people have died for that error. This is a wonderful opportunity, if Putin really is dead, to take a step back and to arrange peace. And it's peace that we really want, rather than people dying, rather than people being killed. People being killed by Putin's invasion, people being killed by Netanyahu's siege in Gaza, people being killed by the terrorist attack on the October the 7th. It's very difficult not to see these events as linked in some way. I'm not saying for 1 minute that everything is planned, but I am saying that Putin's invasion gave license to chaos, license to evil, license to stupidity,